In our last episode, we watched a molten hellscape transform into a planet of water.
We have a stage. A violent, toxic, and utterly sterile stage. But how does a stage become a play? How does dead chemistry ignite into living biology? This is perhaps the single greatest mystery in the universe, the origin of life.
And it all happened right here on the Earth journey.
For centuries, we believed life was a magical spark, vitalism, a force breathed into dead matter.
Then, in 1953, Stanley Miller and Miller-Urey tried something radical. They tried to build life from scratch.
They simulated the atmosphere of early Earth, or so they thought, and added a spark, simulating lightning.
After just 1 week, the water turned brown. It was a sterile chemical soup. But when they analyzed it,
They found amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, the bricks of life itself.
Life, it turned out, wasn't magic. It was chemistry. Complex, wonderful, but chemistry.
The Miller-Urey experiment proved that the bricks of life could form easily on early Earth. They also hitchhiked here, on the very asteroids and comets that delivered our water.
we have found these building blocks inside meteorites that are older than our planet.
So, the primordial ocean was a rich soup of these parts. But a pile of bricks is not a house.
You need a place, an engine, a location where these bricks can be assembled.
And many scientists believe this is it, a deep-sea hydrothermal vent.
These are black smokers or white smokers. They are chimneys of superheated,
Mineral-rich water pouring from beneath the Earth's crust. Why here? Because these vents are a perfect storm of ingredients.
First, energy, not from the sun, but geothermal heat from the Earth itself.
Second, food. The vents spew out chemical food, like hydrogen and methane. Third, a gradient. A sharp difference in temperature and acidity. This gradient is energy. All life today, including you, uses a similar gradient to power its cells. And fourth, catalysts. The iron and nickel in these vent walls act as assembly lines, forcing simple molecules together to build complex chains. The first proteins, the first steps.
So now we have the bricks and the house, paint.
But we're missing the most important part, the blueprint, DNA.
And this is the ultimate chicken and egg problem.
DNA holds the instructions to build proteins. But you need proteins to read and copy the DNA.
So which came first? The blueprint or the builder?
For decades, this question stunted science, until we realized we were looking at the wrong molecule.
Meet RNA, DNA's simpler, older cousin. It's the jack of all trades.
Like DNA, it can store information. It can carry a blueprint.
But unlike DNA, RNA can also fold itself into complex shapes, just like a protein.
It can be the builder. It can act as an enzyme. It can do work.
It was the chicken and the egg. a molecule that could store information and copy itself. This is the RNA world hypothesis, a time 4 billion years ago,
when the ocean wasn't ruled by DNA, but by an armada of self-replicating RNA molecules.
and as they copied themselves, they made mistakes, mutations.
Most mistakes were useless, but some made the RNA better, more stable, faster at copying.
Natural selection, evolution, it had begun, not with animals, not with cells, but with a single molecule. But this molecule had a problem. It was naked. Its creations would just float away.
But the soup had another ingredient: lipids, fats, molecules with a head that loves water
and a tail that hates it. When you put them in water, they do something amazing. They self-assemble.
They form bubbles, containers, the first simple cell membranes. This was the master stroke, a protocell. A container that kept the machinery inside. It could grow, and it could divide. Suddenly, we don't have just a molecule. We have an individual.
It can compete for resources. It can protect its blueprint.
It's no longer just chemistry. It is on the very edge of being alive.
Over millions of years of this tiny molecular warfare, the protocells became more complex.
The RNA blueprint started building protein tools to help it copy.
And eventually, the unstable RNA blueprint was transferred to a more stable, secure molecule, DNA.
The system was complete. DNA became the library. RNA became the messenger. Proteins became the workers.
At this point, sometime around 3.8 billion years ago, we have the first true living cell.
And here is the most profound fact of all. Every living thing on Earth,
Every plant, every animal, every fungus, every bacterium.
we call it LUCA, the last universal common ancestor.
Luca wasn't the first life. It was just the luckiest.
It was the only one whose lineage survived the brutal filter of the Hadean Earth.
It is the 4 billion-year-old great-great-great-great-grandparent of you. The proof is in your genes. You share 25% of your DNA with a banana. You share 50% with a fly.
We are all, quite literally, family. Cut from the same original cloth.
For the next billion years, this was life. A planet ruled by invisible, single-celled microbes. They were confined to the dark, rich waters of the deep sea vents, or living in microbial mats.
Hiding from the sun's brutal, unfiltered ultraviolet radiation.
The surface was a death trap. The sky had no oxygen, and therefore no ozone layer.
Life had a choice. Stay hidden in the dark, or conquer the light.
Because the surface held the ultimate prize, the single greatest, most abundant energy source on the planet.
And one day, one of these simple cells evolved the most powerful chemical reaction in history.
It learned how to eat sunlight, photosynthesis.
It had a byproduct, a waste gas, a molecule so toxic, so corrosive, it would poison the entire world. It was called oxygen.
Life had invented a weapon that would change everything. It would rust the oceans, paint the sky blue, and cause the greatest mass extinction in history.
This wasn't just an event. It was an apocalypse. The Great Oxidation Event.
Life had solved its origin. Now, it had to survive its own success. The story of that great poison is the next step in our journey. Behold, the blueprint of life itself, twisting through the cosmos. Epic music continues. In the beginning, there was only the primordial soup, heated by the Earth's core and energized by the very breath of the heavens. Epic music continues. Epic music continues. Behold the blue marble, our planet, a living, breathing system. Epic music continues.
Once again, the modern Earth became a small marble, dwarfed by the stunning, terrifying vastness of space. Forged in the crucible of creation, this was Earth in its infancy. A molten world battered by the remnants of creation. This is Earth, a vibrant oasis. But 4.5 billion years ago, it was a world of fire.
Epic music continues.
Epic music continues.
Epic music continues. As we look down upon the night, the true scale of our connected world is revealed.
Stretching for thousands of miles, this is the Great Barrier Reef, a breathtaking tapestry of color and marine diversity. As we look upon this pale blue dot, we see not just continents and oceans, but the interconnected story of us all.
Epic music continues. This is Earth, the cradle of civilization, a vibrant oasis suspended in the silent, endless night. If you want to continue this journey through time, subscribe to the Earth Journey. Our story is just beginning.